3 waterfalls, 1 hike, 1 adventure. Stay tuned. We're in Los Padres National Forest, and we're going to hike Rattlesnake Canyon in Santa Barbara, California. This is a 4.5-mile hike, but we're going to go ahead and make it just over 3 miles, and we're going to get up to a section where we're going to turn off right about here. And we're going to cross over to the right side where the red marker's at. So this is the start of the hike. You're going to park on the side of this road right here, and that will leave a link to the trail. You're going to see the bridge, and then you're going to see the sign for Schofield Park, and you're just going to head down this dirt path. You're going to see a trash can, 2 trash cans, and a trail and a sign. We're going to take this trail down, and then once we get a little bit further down, we're going to see another sign right here. And the sign is basically just saying be safe, no firearms, and camping or vehicles. But you're going to see this creek right here, and you're going to head up a little bit more, and we're going to cross over this creek. And this creek will lead us back onto the trail path. So this trail is really underrated, and I'm doing this hike. I was originally supposed to do the hot springs, but the parking lot was filled up. So this was a backup hike. But anyways, we're going to go over here around these rocks, and we're going to be back on this trail. And you can see up ahead that it merges onto this trail right here. And there is a lot of brush on this trail, but for the most part, it's pretty easy to follow. Even though this wasn't my original plan, it was a great alternative. And there's actually going to be 3 waterfalls on this hike, which is something I mentioned at the beginning of the video. But I'm going to go ahead and check those out and see how they're flowing today. And this trail is really green, and you're going to see this creek, and we're going to head down there in just a bit. There's a little path that will take you down there. So now you can see the nice little cascades just coming down the creek, and all the flowers coming through this wilderness. So this is a very beautiful and underrated hike. It's an easy, simple hike to do. It's not too crazy. So it's definitely one I recommend you check out. So now I'm going to head down here to where the creek is at. And I'm just going to show you the great spot you could check out when you're doing this hike, where you get these massive boulders and these oak trees just hovering over this creek. In my opinion, it's a great spot for photography and filming as well, adding this unique charm to the trail. And this is the creek flowing down. So right now there isn't really any waterfalls, but when I get further up, you're going to see the waterfalls. So now I'm going to go ahead and get back on the trail, but you do have that nice little cascade right there. And you can see the reflection from the trees in the river. And just more massive boulders and brush and a canopy of oak trees. Now we're going to cross this creek and get back onto the path. So this does require creek crossing and merging onto the path back and forth. But you're going to see this right here, where you're going to have to do some more creek crossing. So now we're back on the trail, and you can just see all the brush and forestry coming down to the mountains. And this is just a very beautiful section of the hike. The whole trail is beautiful. But now we're going to head to one of the first waterfalls. And you can see the elevation gain is starting to go up or increase as we get further into this hike. And you could just see all the wildflowers and the fog blossoming over the mountains. You can see all of Santa Barbara down there. All the houses on the hills. But now I'm going to merge back onto the path and just more breathtaking views of all this greenery surrounding Santa Barbara. And there are other hikes I've done here, which are very popular as well. Seven Falls, Ysidro Creek, and Montecito Peak. Because of all the thick green brush and vegetation surrounding this hike, you are very likely to encounter poison oak. Try not to touch any of the vegetation. But the further you get along the hike, you will start to see more waterfalls come up. And this is one of the first ones I've seen. So this is waterfall number 1. I'm going to go ahead and go down here and check it out. And there is a nice swimming pool right here that you could jump into as well. If it's summertime and you want to go swimming, this would be a great spot to do so. And when you're in this hike and you're doing this trail, it just makes you feel like you're not in Southern California. You're in some tropical forest or something. And then this is waterfall number 2. So you can see this one just coming down, and it's a lot bigger in person versus when you're watching it from your screen on your phone. And you have a nice little cascade coming down to these massive boulders. But now we're going to cross over to the other side, and we're going to merge back onto the path again. And more massive boulders surrounding us. There's another waterfall we're going to check out. And this would be the 3rd waterfall. And I believe this would be the final waterfall. But I will continue on the hike a little bit further, just to show you what there is. And this is the waterfall. So I'm getting closer, and it is actually a pretty decent sized waterfall, even though you can't really tell from here. But you can see it coming down through where these rocks are at. So now I'm going to get back onto the trail, and I'm going to head up above the waterfall. And it's coming down this creek, going down there. But I'm going to do a little bit more climbing, and we are going to stop at one last creek area. And that'll be our final stop of this hike, as there isn't anything else beyond that I know of worth hiking to. And when you're doing this hike, you're just going to get more greenery, more natural beauty. So we are almost towards the end of the hike. Once we get a little bit past this area, it will open up again. And again, more views of the mountains. So I believe if you continue on, you could actually get to White Mountain. But you could actually just drive up to White Mountain, as there's a road that takes you up to several peaks in Santa Barbara. And one of them is La Cobria Peak, I believe. I don't know if I pronounced that right. But this is the opening I was talking about. And there's a turnoff right there, but we're just going to go straight ahead.
Oh, it's just a bird.
And this is going to be the part where we're going to reach the last creek section of the hike before I head back to my vehicle. And we are approaching it, and this is it. So this section where this rock is at is where I'm going to stop for the hike, and that's the hike. Thanks for watching.